Hi, I'm Preeti, and I'm here to tell you about Guillain Barre syndrome. A lot of people in India are not aware about this rare and extremely debilitating autoimmune disorder, which is called Guillain Barre syndrome, or GB syndrome, as most doctors in India call it, or simply GBS. It is a rare autoimmune disorder that affects 1 in 100,000 people across the globe. Last year, when I was 44 years old, I was struck with GB syndrome while on a holiday abroad. It happened really suddenly, and what's the strange thing about this disease is that it affects different people differently. What's even stranger is that it has no known cause and no known cure. As far as causes are concerned, there is no particular person with a penchant for anything or any pre-existing conditions who can be said to be more vulnerable to GBS. It strikes people as and when it wishes. Often starts with a little tingling in your toes or your fingertips, or with you having a headache, or with you feeling a little sick, thinking that you have an upset tummy or you've got an allergy to something, which is what happened with me. I thought it was a shellfish allergy in the beginning. But then, when I started feeling that my fingertips and toes were tingling in a strange way, a way that I'd never seen before or felt before, I realized that there was something wrong with me. And I had the most blinding headache I've ever had in my life. Slowly, my condition worsened over 24 hours till I had to go to a hospital. Even though I walked into the hospital myself, by the next 24 hours, I was completely paralyzed from the neck down. It started with me not being able to breathe, feeling as if I couldn't get enough air into my lungs. Then it went on to me not being able to swallow, even my spit. And that is when I started to get a little scared. They thought that it was anxiety, which is how a lot of people misdiagnose GBS. It's also sometimes confused for other autoimmune conditions or for something completely different. By the next day, I could not breathe on my own at all, and I could not move my legs or any of my other muscles except my pupils. What GBS does is that it erodes or destroys the myelin sheath covering our nerves. Nerves are the ones that give signals to our brain to move our hands and feet, and also nerves are the ones that control our muscles. When GB syndrome strikes, it starts from the feet and makes its way up. The good thing about it is that it does not affect the brain, but stops at the neck. In severe cases like mine, you could be completely paralyzed. Since the nerves that it affects also control most of the muscles, or in fact all the muscles in our body, the muscles soon stop receiving signal from these damaged nerves. And one by one, all your muscles shut down, starting from your extremities, your limbs. Imagine, everything that we do involves muscles. Blinking, flexing our fingers or our toes. Our heart is made up of extremely powerful muscles. Lungs, our intestines, our pelvic area, everything is made up of muscles. So when GB syndrome strikes, suddenly and rapidly, it shuts you down completely, both outside movement as well as things like your digestion. This is what happened with me. But I was also lucky because I was in Vietnam and in the city of Hanoi. Luckily, on a recommendation of a friend, I went to a hospital that was state of the art, and there was a doctor who didn't speak any English, who actually diagnosed it very quickly. Diagnosis for GBS involves doing, first and foremost, a simple check to test, with just it could be a pen or any other object to check sensation in the feet. He immediately realized that my feet had altered sensation, upon which he ordered a nerve conduction test. The nerve conduction test showed that my nerves were not receiving signals like they should. Transmitting signals like they should. And after that, he immediately ordered a spinal tap. A spinal tap in which doctors take fluid out of your spine. They take a sample of your spinal fluid to check for levels of protein. In the case of Guillain Barre syndrome, the protein levels in our spinal fluid are extremely elevated. This usually happens when the disease has been in your body for about a couple of weeks. That means Vietnam saved my life because I must have got it somewhere in India before I went on holiday. There are various reasons that people attribute to GBS. One, of course, is, and the most common reason which doctors feel is something that could be causing GBS, is a remnant infection in the body. It could be a viral infection, which could be a gastrointestinal infection or an upper respiratory tract infection, which stays in the body. What then happens is that when our immune system and the cells that fight an attack on the body are activated, in GB syndrome, sometimes the immune system continues to fight even after the alien organisms have been destroyed, like a virus. And then it starts to attack healthy cells, which is why it spreads so rapidly. It's your own body going to war with you, so to speak. Treatments for GBS, there are two which don't really cure GBS, but what they do is that they slow down symptoms. One is plasmapheresis, in which you're put on dialysis and your blood is cleaned. Your plasma in your blood is cleaned by giving you healthy plasma. The second is IVIG. It's an immunoglobulin therapy in which healthy immunoglobulins from healthy individuals are then injected into your body. Both treatments, especially IVIG, are extremely and often prohibitively expensive, which is why many times people do not receive the care that they deserve. GB syndrome, when caught early, can be cured, can be addressed, because it is fully reversible. It reverses from the top down, which means that your legs and feet are the last to heal. What's important to know is that you cannot despair, because in GB syndrome, one of the biggest weapons that you have is your mind to fight it, a disease which is reversible. And if you have been taken under care at an early stage, it is curable to the extent that you will get movement back, that you will slowly recover. Everyone has different recovery rates, and the difference is sometimes medical care, physiotherapy, and your own strength of mind, which can make the entire difference between one person's recovery and another. Of course, age plays a role, GB syndrome can affect anyone from a child all the way up to someone who is in their 70s or 80s. And I'm here to tell you that I know of a couple of people who got it when they were in their 70s, and they say that they're fitter than ever before because it forced them to become stronger mentally and physically. I'm going to be doing short videos on GBS to explain some of the very common exercises that can help you strengthen different parts of your body if you're affected by something like GBS or other nerve conditions, in which some of these very simple exercises can also be helpful. I will stick to the simple ones, the ones that do not involve our backbone or sensitive areas of our body, because I am not a trained physiotherapist, but only someone who can share tips and tricks on how to beat a disease like that. Autoimmune disorders do not get the attention that they deserve in our country. And I think it's important to make people aware of some of these disorders and what it's like to live with one of them. These are sometimes invisible diseases in which, unlike other diseases which have a very overt physiological component or a very overt set of symptoms and problems, autoimmune disorders affect you more silently. Don't lose hope. Please don't. Because if you wish to fight it, and if you have the will to fight it, you will. And I'm here to tell you that you get better. I did. I'm still not fully okay. I'm still not normal. But yes, I got up. I walked. I showered. I eat. I drive now. And I do most everything normally. I help other people as well around the house, or even if it is in other ways. Because first, it's very important to help yourself get out of a disease like that. I wish you good health, and I wish you luck and hope, good medical care, as well as the love of family and friends around you. Because that is the perfect combination that can help you fight a terrifying disease like Guillain Barre syndrome. God bless you. Stay healthy, stay happy, and know that there are people out there who are suffering from something similar. All you have to do is reach out. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.